Hey guys, welcome to episode 70 of Concentrated, the podcast about all of the things that we find cool and interesting as nerds of color. I am your host, Maria, and I am here on this lovely day with my co host, Manira.
Thanks. Did you take an edible? You're real
I'm
chill.
real mellow. No,
All right, real mellow.
I'm just loving the fact that it's not 900 degrees outside.
That's fair. Hi,
Yeah.
guys.
And also Eric.
Good day and salutations.
Oh Lord.
Okay.
It
Well,
is a
some
better week. I can be happy
Yeah.
this week.
it is. And we are actually pretty happy because what we're talking about today is the first initial airings of episodes of season 2 of Amazon's The Boys. But before we get into all of the fun mayhem that has already happened, it's time for Eric to do the news. Pew pew. I feel like his sound effects are still better, but I like ours.
No, I don't add sound effects. I add music, real music.
Whatever.
You know what? Just tell your
And
names.
some of that real hip hop. All right, I got a couple of quick stories. Two COVID related. Apparently, The Rock revealed that him and his family all had COVID-19.
The whole family.
What?
They are all better.
Yeah.
Yeah, he just revealed this last week, but they're on the other end of it, but they had it previously. Him, his wife, his daughters, everybody in his household.
The
Hot
baby.
damn.
Right. All
Mhm.
of them. And they got it from a family member. Right.
Well, I mean, listen, I'm really excited to hear that they're all okay, but shit.
Yeah.
Not to mention, outside of him, we also just got the news yesterday that Tenet and the Batman star Robert Pattinson also has tested positive for COVID-19.
He has indeed.
Holy shit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wait, are
Um,
they filming? Are they finished filming?
No, they're still filming because remember they got shut down for like 3 or 4 months when COVID started. They just were able to start filming again, and I'm assuming someone on set was not vetted properly, and they're passing it around. So that's going to push production a couple months.
Yeah.
Yeah, that is hella scary. Especially too because this like misnomer that everybody had that like only old people die from it. That's not quite the case anymore. And it's not even just about people dying or not dying of it. Like there's this whole like big ass group of people between the ages of like 25 and 40 who have survived but are having like horrible symptoms that have continued like long past the
Mhm.
virus leaving their body. And so, like, in this case, I'm kind of worried because if he is one of those people that has those lingering, I mean, there's a name for it, but I forget what they're calling it right now. But basically, one of these people that has like all of these like health issues afterwards, what the hell is that going to do for the shooting of this movie?
Well, right now he's quarantined for a minimum of 14 days. And then they'll have to test him and then test everyone on set and then wait 72 hours to make sure there's no additional symptoms after everyone is tested and been proven negative. And then they might be able to get back to work, but it's going to push production for at least a month.
Well, I mean, the silver lining there is good because I'm not trying to go to nobody's movie theater anytime soon, any fucking way. So, what's
Well,
another month?
let's say I've been to a movie theater. I went on Friday and I saw Tenet,
How
which was
was it?
amazing. That was my second story, not me going to the movies, but the fact that Tenet has crossed $100 million gross internationally. So
I'm
that's good.
not surprised by that at all.
Yeah, no. I mean, there was only 2 other people in my theater. Like I went to the Alamo during the middle of the day. Like I went to a 1:30 show, and they were on the opposite end of the theater. I may have been overly cautious, and I'll take overly cautious over getting that Rona. I had on gloves. I had on a mask. I had my fucking hood up. I didn't want none of that shit. I even took my own Clorox wipe and wiped down my seat before I sat down.
That's fair.
Yeah.
Mhm.
That's the only, and like I particularly found that show because there was no one else in the theater. Like I wanted as little people as possible. And even then, the Alamo, when you select a seat, it automatically blocks off the next 2 seats. So they're automatically buffering people. And like some theaters I've seen where they'll block off a whole row. Like if it's one of the bigger IMAX theaters where there are a lot of chairs and they have it like stadium style,
Mhm.
they'll only have every other row available. And even then,
Mm,
once you choose your seat, they block off the next two just to be safe. Just to be safe.
mm.
So, like I said, I went. I enjoyed the movie highly. It's going to confuse some people, which is great, and it's going to divide some people, which most Christopher Nolan movies do. I would say if you can find a safe environment and that you feel safe going, check it out. If not, don't feel bad that you didn't go see it in the theater. You can wait for DVD or Blu-ray.
Yeah, I'm about to say this doesn't feel, at least initially, it didn't feel like one that you had to see on the big screen per se.
I
But now that you've
would,
seen it, like,
yeah.
what do you
I,
think?
I I'm one of those people that when I see a Christopher Nolan movie, I know all the things that went into making the movie, and the man makes grandiose films. They need to be seen on as big a screen as possible. And like the only reason I didn't find a legit IMAX is because I figured there would be more people in there.
Mm-hmm.
So I didn't do IMAX, but I did, a large format theater. So and shout out to the Alamo for having everything like really organized and keeping as few people as possible in the theater, and even the staff that comes in. Like you can't sit down and order food directly. If you want anything, you have to order it online when you order your ticket, and then they
Oh.
bring it to you before the start of the movie, and they'll still put up. The only thing that they'll come and get is if you need like a refill of your drink, but they will not take any other orders once you're sat down, to keep them from having, because normally at an Alamo they go back and forth during the
Mm-hmm.
movie to make sure. But yeah, they won't let anyone else in.
That's
And
smart, though.
yeah,
Mm-hmm.
they did a really good job. So if I do have to go to a theater again, it will be only at the Alamo. And they're also doing at certain Alamo locations, they're doing drive-in theaters where they're projecting the movie on the side of the building.
But are they showing My Bad Baby, though?
Yes, they are in drive-in. You have to drive a bit. Like they're showing it at the one in
Hell.
Woodbridge and
Let's
the one
go.
in
You shut it, Manera.
I don't have to. My baby
don't
has
know.
straight A's.
yeah, no, Tenet is definitely going to make its money back, especially overseas. And I
Right.
haven't gotten the number for the US yet, but it's already made 20 million in China over the weekend. So, I mean, they're saying it's a $200 million movie, so it's going to be it's not going to make its money back as fast, but it's going to
Right.
make its money
But
back.
it'll make its money back. No,
Yeah.
but seriously, E, let's go see it. Let's go see My Bad Baby, The New Mutants in the drive-through.
Drive-in.
I mean, drive-in, not to drive-through. Listen, it's gonna be so bad. Probably you
I
could
don't want
drive
a teenager
through it.
with their phone like, "Here's your movie. Here's your fries. Thank you." You only get to watch 30 seconds of the movie. Get out.
Right. Get out. What
Oh,
30
Yeah, no.
seconds is it?
It's really good, and
It's the
hopefully
credits.
it's going to do well. I think they're hopeful is at least 450 million before it's out of the theater.
I
Which
can see that.
I can
Though.
see it
I
doing
think
that.
that's reasonable.
Yeah.
Well, yay.
All right.
Yeah.
What's your next story?
Sorry. If you're a fan of Tom Cruise movies that no longer star Tom Cruise, we're getting a Jack Reacher series at Amazon. Because, Jack Reacher. That's about the response I expected from Maria.
Womp.
Well, the only good thing
Ugh.
is we have a star finally. Alan Richardson, who, if you know Blue Mountain State or Titans, he plays Hawk on Titans. Hawk and Dove.
Yeah. Okay, I really do
he's
like
gonna
him.
He's a really good actor, and
Yeah.
unlike Tom Cruise, he's not 5'6".
No,
he's
he
like
actually
6'5".
looks like he could be kicking people's
Yeah, he
asses.
looks like he could beat somebody's ass. But yeah, he was in Smallville, Titans.
Mhm.
He usually plays a lot of superhero roles. He also played Raphael in the Ninja Turtles movies,
I
the
did
newer
not know
ones.
that. Okay.
Yeah, he did the motion capture and the voice, which is why Raphael in those movies was gigantic. I always liked the fact that they all looked different. They weren't
Yeah.
like just they had their own personalities, which they kind of adapted to the new Ninja Turtles cartoon. Anyway, he will be our Jack Reacher for Amazon. So this goes
Okay.
up there with shows about white guys doing military stuff that no one knows about or maybe cares. Same with
Your dad cares. You know
yeah,
your dad
this
cares.
there's a very particular audience for this show, not unlike Jack Ryan.
My mom.
So we got Jack Ryan and Jack Reacher.
This is
Too
for
many
my
fucking
mom.
Jacks. But so question for you, Eric, and it may not matter. How does this affect, or will it affect Titans? Like, is Titans not coming back? Because I thought they were coming back.
I don't know. I haven't heard about a season 3 yet, but I mean, everything is being folded out. Like DC Universe is essentially dead. They haven't announced that it's fully dead yet, but people like Jim Lee at DC Comics have basically said, yeah, we're rolling everything over to HBO Max.
Yeah, because I thought that I had read somewhere, and listen, it could have completely been clickbait, and I read some conspiracy theory shit, but I thought I had read that HBO had actually picked up Titans and Doom Patrol. And I've already seen like Doom Patrol is on HBO Max right now, but they
Yeah.
had picked up those two and Harley Quinn.
Season 2 of Doom Patrol went straight to HBO Max. It didn't even go to DC Universe.
Right.
Yeah.
But my understanding was that Titans and obviously Harley Quinn were both also going the same route. So
yeah, Harley Quinn definitely, because it's one of their more popular shows.
I just don't want Titans to be canceled. I love Titans. So I
Yeah,
guess we'll
we
see.
haven't heard anything yet, but hopeful, because I enjoy Titans as well.
Yeah. All right. Any other news?
Yeah, apparently, with the coming cut of the Justice League, the Snyder cut, Ray Fisher is kind of being pulled through the ringer by WB. They're trying to blacklist him and basically gaslight him and say that
Why?
because he wants an open investigation into Joss Whedon and the way that he was treated on the set of Justice League when Joss Whedon took over. And WB is basically like, oh no, you're kind of making things up. So he is basically funding his own third party investigation into everything that happened on the set of Justice League when Joss Whedon took over. And Warner Brothers is basically like, no, nothing happened. We'll deal with this privately. So he's been tweeting a storm and
because they came out and said that he wasn't cooperating with their investigation. And then
Yeah.
he had to come out and clear his name and basically say that he came onto the phone call and then they were asking him questions that weren't really pertinent to it. And he heard that there was somebody else on the line that wouldn't identify themselves when he said that it was only supposed to be one other person on the line. So it was supposed to be him and another person. And so he politely asked them if he could bring his people on so it would be fair and balanced. They said no. And so he got off the phone and then had to write to his team and basically tell them, this is what they're doing. I don't like this shit. We need to go and basically do our own investigation.
Pretty
Okay.
much.
Here's the thing here. What the fuck are you doing, Warner Brothers? This is real simple. You have an artist, because I calling him a star is a bit of a stretch. You have an actor. Come on. Let's just be
Nice.
honest.
Just call him a star.
He's not a star. He's an actor. Like the person
To you?
Well, no, I mean, he hasn't done a ton of things, but
right.
This was supposed to be like his star-making role, and
Right.
from what I've heard, and we'll see if that's true when the Snyder cut comes out, his role was kind of shaved down real big by Joss Whedon.
Call that man a star and just continue.
I will not, but regardless, as an employee, as an actor, as a paid person who had something bad happen, you guys acknowledge that something happened. Stop being fucking shady and just do the investigation the right way. Because at the end of the day, if you handle this the right way, you actually do more for your image and Hollywood's image in general than if you try to do like some, backdoor quieting bullshit to try to minimize what actually happened. Unless you truly, truly believe that he is blowing things out of proportion and it wasn't what he says it was, then just let the investigation be. And your behavior tells me that you don't believe he blew it out of proportion.
Well, his quote that he just released basically saying, after speaking out about Justice League, I received a phone call from the president of DC Films wherein he attempted to throw Joss Whedon and producer John Berg under the bus in hopes that I would relent on Jeff Johns. I will not. Jeff Johns famously is the producer of a lot of the WB shows. He's been a producer on basically every DC project, and he is also a former DC Comics comic book writer.
So what's his beef with Jeff Johns?
Apparently, he also treated him like shit on the set of Justice League, which some people have kind of backed up as well. So it wasn't just Joss Whedon.
See, I didn't know that. I thought it was just the whole Joss Whedon thing.
Yeah, the people's beef with Joss Whedon was like his insistence to make these weird cuts and add these jokes and improper humor, like the Wonder Woman thing where the Flash falls on her and he accidentally lands on her chest and he jumps up like, "Oh my God, I'm so awkward. I'm the Flash." Which he also used the same joke in Age of Ultron with Black Widow and the Hulk. So,
Joss Whedon, you're a millionaire. You've never seen boobs before? Calm down. Knock it off. All right.
He's also gotten several complaints recently from people about his so-called feminism and how it's not real.
I'll be somewhat interested to see how this plays out. I don't know.
Yeah, I'll be watching the Snyder cut. I'll probably download it in one go in the 4 hour way that it's supposed to be instead of watching it individually, because they announced that it'll be put in either a single movie or you can watch it in 4 episodes. But I'll watch it, see how that goes, and
Yeah, I think I'll just do it all at once. It's like
yeah,
drinking Robitussin. Don't sip that shit. Just knock it back.
no, I just want to peel the Band-Aid off real quick, just
Mhm.
yank it, be done with it. I don't want to have to put the Band-Aid back on and rip it back off every week.
I'm gonna never put the Band-Aid on.
You're
We'll
just
tell you
staying
how it
away
is.
from it altogether.
Yeah, I'm good.
Yeah, we'll tell you how it goes.
Ugh.
But that's all my news, unless you guys had anything else. I know there was a death. I'm not a sports person, so I didn't know this person, but was this the coach of the Georgetown Hoyas from the 80s?
Yeah, John
John
Thompson.
Thompson. Thompson. Sorry.
John Thompson II. His
Yeah.
son John Thompson III took over the team after he retired. Yeah, legendary guy. They won an NCAA championship under him. I actually had the privilege of meeting him in high school. He actually was recruiting a young man that actually went from my school to go play for him, and he was just pretty
Yeah, I
amazing
know
guy.
it's a more of a local thing. Like if you're a Maryland, DC, Virginia local,
If you're a
you know
Maryland,
the name.
DC, yeah, it's a big deal. Obviously, if you're a college basketball enthusiast, like his name is up there with like the Bobby Knights and the who's the dickhead from Duke? I can never whatever. You know what I'm talking about. He's with
I
those
don't.
guys.
I do.
Some of our listeners will know what I'm talking about, but he's
hold
up there
on.
with like those like Hall of Fame. He is a Hall of Fame college coach, so it's a pretty big deal in the sports world. Obviously, our podcast doesn't necessarily cover sports like that, but being
Mike Krzyzewski.
yeah, Coach K. Thank you guys. So
I need
yeah,
the video game, Coach K basketball.
oh dear Lord.
Okay.
All right. Moving right along. Thank you for your news, Eric. So as promised today, we are going to be talking about The Boys. We were super excited about season 2 coming out. If you go back and listen, I don't even remember what the episode number was, but we actually did an episode last year when the first season came out about the show and how much we loved it. And we were very much anticipating its release. Well, it came out, but it didn't necessarily come out in the format that some of us were expecting it. We thought that Amazon would drop it the whole season in its entirety, and they did not. They decided to drop the first 3 episodes, and all future episodes will be released on Fridays. So before
Unlike
we
the first season where they dropped it all at once.
yeah, they dropped everything at once. So before we actually get into the contents of the show, how'd you guys feel about that?
Not good, bitch. I wanted to see all of it. I don't like when people tell me that I can only watch this. Like you give me 3 and then you're like, yeah, you like that? Well, then you'll come back next week. No, maybe I won't. Maybe something else will be out and I'll completely forget about you. I don't like being told what to do by television people. I paid my dues. I was told what to do by my parents. I don't need to be told what to do by you.
You're not my real dad, Jeff Bezos.
He's not. He's not my real dad. He's not even my stepdad. He might be. My mom does do a lot of Amazon purchases, so he might be.
Whoa, ma'am.
No, they're not in a loving relationship. It's just that she gets her stuff from him.
I was gonna say, you better tell your mom to get some of that divorce money.
Right. She ain't
Just
doing
a couple
it right.
million.
We ain't seen these checks. I think I feel a little differently.
Of course you do. No. No, go on.
There's so much shit to watch. There is too much shit to watch. And I think that if they would have dumped it all at once, and I didn't do this podcast with you two ding dongs, I wouldn't have sat and watched, like I would not have binged the entire season.
Right.
I wouldn't have binged the entire season in one night because there's so many different things I'm trying to binge because there's so much to watch. So I think that for me, them doing it the way that it does works a lot better because I found that shows that release weekly, I keep up with better than the stuff that the stuff that's already completely on whatever streaming service. Like it's
that's
too
how
much.
I am during normal times. Like when I'm actually working in an office and not working from home. Normally I would prefer it be dropped, weekly, like it's going to be. But like now, COVID times, we're all sitting at home. I got nothing better to do. I have the time to binge a whole season
Are
at once.
you serious? You don't have nothing better to do? Because there are literally at least 30 shows right now between the different streaming services
Don't tell me,
that
brother.
I could
No,
binge,
but
and I
right
don't.
now,
It's too much. It's too
I
much.
I like it right now, especially we're about to be in the start of fall TV. HBO Max just dropped. Well, one, we still have Lovecraft Country weekly. They just dropped Raised by Wolves. They dropped the first 3 episodes, and they're going to be doing a weekly thing. We still got, if you're into Star Trek, you got Star Trek Lower Decks.
So good.
Also, Discovery's coming back soon. All the
Listen,
fall shows are
Picard, Discovery, it's too much. It's too fucking much. All right, sorry.
this I would have preferred they dropped it all at once, especially for the sake of this show. I would have been able to like watch all 8 and be done. But now I got to check back weekly, which is also why we're going to have to do a second half to this episode because we only got like the first third of the season.
Listen, we're not that interesting. It won't kill us to do a second half to this. Gives us something to talk about. You'll be
Yeah,
fine.
no, it gives us. We literally just picked up a whole new episode topic just off of Amazon's fuckery.
Yes, they're fuckery. Thank you.
Listen. Maybe Amazon is my new bad baby. I'm okay with this decision. It's easier for me because literally my Netflix queue right now just is overflowing with shit that I've started that I'm like, yeah, I'm gonna sit down and binge this. And then the time never comes because I got other stuff going on. And it's like, oh, right, I
It's
still
much
need to
harder
go
for me
back
to
and
keep up
finish
with
that.
Netflix shows, especially when they drop all at one time. Like
Yeah,
they drop the whole season and they drop like 3 or 4 shows a week. It's hard to keep up with.
yeah. And then try to fit movies in there. Like, no.
But I don't mind that.
Like
if
there's
you put it on
scripted shows and like fucking the new Chef's Table Barbecue just came out. I want to watch that.
There's
Do
a
you
new
see that?
Chef's Table? No,
Yeah,
I
it's
didn't
all
even
about
fucking know.
barbecue. It looks fucking delicious.
Thank you, Amazon. I'm just gonna
no,
leave it at that.
No, I enjoy because with your queue, like you can put it on there, and then when it's late and you're like, well, what am I gonna? I'm not really tired, so I need something to watch. Then you automatically are like, ooh, this is here. Let me watch this a little bit, and then it's 4 o'clock.
Yeah. See,
Go on.
I purposely don't have a TV in my room. I try not to watch TV right before bed. Like literally, if I finish something and I'm going to bed, I'll still sit up and like read or just do something for like 20 or 30 minutes before I actually try to go to sleep.
I'm so bourgeoisie. I don't have a television in my
No,
room.
that's not bourgeoisie at all. I want to be able to fucking sleep.
Excuse
I
me.
can sleep, and I still have a
Fuck
television in my room.
you with your
And I
big
like
foot.
books,
television in my room.
so
I read a chapter of a book and then I go to sleep.
I know
You're
you
better than me.
two.
I do both of those things.
Right, I'm gonna
Yeah.
say I know you two pretentious motherfuckers with Eric's background of nothing but books and fancy things. Right, shut the fuck up. All right, I
have
just don't
6
do it
screens
because I
in front of
can't.
me right here.
I'm working with 2 right now, and that's good enough. Yeah, I don't. So for me, it's like
7
I
if you include
literally.
the iPad.
Oh yeah,
I think the moral of it is you need to know yourself.
yeah, yeah. It definitely. And so for me, this is one of the few times where like one of these formats. Normally, the way that things happen, you guys are like, yeah, and I'm like, this is one that I'm like, yes, thank God. And you guys
I'm
are like,
throwing things.
right, and you're over there ready to burn the whole damn establishment down.
I do feel it like it's better for this, especially after the 3 they gave us and the way the 3rd episode ends. Like you need some
Oof.
time to process that, which is also why I really like Lovecraft Country being once a week because like we have a whole other show currently about how we process individual episodes.
Yeah.
Whereas
Yeah.
if they just dropped all 10 at once, Manira would be like, blah, 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 blah.
That is the
Would.
best impersonation of Manira I've ever seen.
Blah, 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 racism goes, blah.
I would.
It would be like verbal diarrhea.
You're not wrong.
Yeah. All right. Well, okay. So we've agreed to disagreed on the format. That's fine. But now let's get into it. What did y'all think of these first 3 episodes? Like, I don't think I want to go like episode by episode. I think we can just talk about it collectively as you're
No,
looking
because
at
there's a
like
lot
what's
to process
going
in
on.
just 3 episodes.
Yes, yeah. So like, do you guys like? I watched even after the first episode. I was already like, well, damn, they're back, and I appreciate that they are not taking their feet off the gas at
No,
all.
they've definitely increased their budget on head explosions.
Oh my gosh. Oh.
So I mean, you want to just talk about the general like where it starts?
Yeah,
from-
yeah. Let's just
because
jump in.
last season, yeah.
last season, because last season ended with basically Butcher finding out that his wife was not dead and had a baby. And
That
also we
baby is not
had
his.
that baby's not his.
The rest of the
Um,
team was on the run. They were
rest of
now
the team was
wanted.
on the run. Madeline Stillwell was clearly murdered by Homelander.
She got her
Yeah.
eyes lasered out of her head.
Oh, that was a lot.
Mhm.
And you were just like, all right, well, what's going to happen? So we jump into season 2, and the guys are still on the run. They're
Plus, we
hanging
had
out.
the introduction of season 2 villain Giancarlo Esposito.
Yes.
I mean, villain light. We don't know that he's a villain.
He's Giancarlo Esposito.
He's
Outside of playing Bugging Out, he's basically been a villain his entire season, his entire life.
he is just the original OG. Do not fuck with me. Oh my gosh.
He's basically
just-
playing the same character from Breaking Bad, only he moved from a chicken joint to a multinational corporation.
Mhm.
Which seems fair.
Yeah,
Hey, he's on the
he's
come up.
upgrading vertically.
Because them suits, though, you didn't
Mhm.
see
They
a
looked
scene where
very
he didn't look
nice.
sharp.
Yeah, they looked very nice.
Yeah. So you come into this new season, the guys are hanging out in the basement of like a pawn shop with a bunch of like Haitian gangsters. Huey is still being an old bitch behind Starlight. Because clearly he hasn't learned his lesson.
Yeah.
She hasn't learned hers either.
No, they're so stupid, both of them. So you've got them trying to figure out their next steps. Kimiko's learning how to write. That's great.
She's adorable.
Her bees
Yeah.
are perfect.
They are perfect. She's like, look, my bees.
Yeah. But then you switch over to the 7, and there's a whole lot going on in the 7. Because the Deep is still out in the
He's
middle of
officially
nowhere.
no longer a member of the 7.
Yeah, he's officially been
Where
removed
did they
from the
send him?
7.
Cincinnati or something like that?
Yep. Somewhere in Ohio.
Yeah,
It was
it's
bad.
somewhere.
Cleveland,
Yeah,
it's either
Midwest.
Cleveland or Cincinnati.
Yeah. Where they famously do not have a lot of water outside of lakes.
Right. They've confirmed Translucent is dead, although
His funeral.
that
It's
funeral was
hilarious.
oh my gosh. Because first off, y'all know he was dead, but did you actually have translucent parts inside that casket?
No.
Because he
No,
got
they
blown
weighed
the
that
fuck up.
casket down.
Yeah, because remember, Butcher took the body and basically buried it, and put it in a lead line case.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So
Yeah.
no, they lied.
So then we just got this fancy glass
Mhm.
coffin and put it on the thing for his kids to
And
see.
But if you can
Starlight's-
see it, like you can see, like it's pushed down to look like somebody's in there.
Mhm.
That's smart.
Yeah,
is
but it ain't.
smart,
But it
it's
ain't
not.
him.
Right.
The other thing was that he could make himself visible.
Mhm.
So if he was dead,
Wouldn't he?
would he
Right.
still be translucent?
No, he
Mm-hmm.
was, because when they blew him up, I went back and rewatched season 1 earlier this week as well.
Mhm.
But when
Smart.
they blew him up, you still see, like when he's scooping up body parts, you see his body is invisible, but it's still splattered with blood, so you can see the outline of his body, because he was invisible when he got blown up.
Oh.
Like he
Okay, that
tried to
makes
walk
sense.
away, and then Huey blew up the ass bomb.
Yeah, after he showed himself, he went, yep,
Mm.
okay.
Yeah.
All right, that makes sense. All right, so yeah, so we're down 2 members of the 7. Black Noir is out here
Well, we're down
murking.
3 because of A-Train.
Well, A-Train's
Yeah,
not
remember,
gone yet, though.
A-Train had a heart attack at the end of the last season.
He had a heart attack at the end of the season,
And
but
at the
we
beginning
know
of
that
this one,
he's
he's-
alive.
Yeah,
So he's not technically
get
gone.
replaced or
Yeah,
anything.
he's
Yeah.
not
Yeah.
getting replaced yet. You've got
he's
Black
going through some shit too.
Yeah,
Ugh.
you've got Black Noir going to the Middle East, murking supervillains.
The best
and
way he knows how.
the best way he knows how.
And then putting on puppet shows for children as they're traumatized.
Right. Because he's walking past with a head. I would love to know more about Black Noir, actually. And I think that's the whole
Ooh.
point.
There's some stuff you got to know. Like, I've read the comics, so like I won't spoil it for you, but it's a big one.
Oh. Are you sure you don't want to spoil?
No.
No?
No.
Don't
Okay.
spoil
Okay.
it. Don't
All right.
spoil
Fine. Fine. So clearly there is just chaos. Starlight's still kind of in trouble, but they're still sexing her up to try to sell her participation in the 7. Maeve,
That suit was cut.
Yeah.
It was cut high. I saw cheek, and
Yeah,
I
no,
did
she's
I
not
like
naked now.
I like that they pointed out later when she takes the suit off that she's wearing like those
padding
chicken
on
cutlet
everything.
Mhm.
padding things. Yeah.
Yeah,
she's
she's
not
wearing-
she's a pretty slender girl.
Yeah,
Mhm.
they've put padding everywhere to make her look a certain way. And so we know that they need to add some people to the 7,
Mhm.
right? Because Ashley's back even after Stillwell fired her. Now she's back taking Stillwell's place. It's made very clear to her that she don't run shit by Homelander. Oh, and where is Homelander? Homelander's trying to play daddy
Well,
with
not to
his
mention
baby.
they framed Butcher for the murder of Stillwell and said
Yep.
that he blew her up, even though they blew up her house after what's her name lasered her face off, and then blew her house up,
hmm
and was nice enough to at least put the baby somewhere where they could find it.
I thought they blew that baby up.
No, they said that the baby was found a couple miles away.
17 miles away to be exact.
Yeah,
Yeah.
That's odd.
Which kind of surprised me because Homelander hated that fucking baby. So I was
Right.
actually shocked he didn't kill that baby.
he was just jealous of the baby was getting all that fresh milk, which he later went to the office and found like her last remaining bottle.
That was so disgusting.
Warmed it up and had himself a little chug. He's like,
I don't know. There's
Fresh.
something about that baby. Like, there's something. I feel like there's something there about that
maybe
baby.
he didn't care because now he knows he has his own baby. He's like, I don't
Mhm.
care about you, baby.
But Bill, I don't think Billy was all that keen on that fucking baby either.
No one likes babies. They're weird. Just get out of here. Nobody wants to see a baby.
I agree with him. Nobody cares.
I'm not a
about them
baby
damn
fan.
Babies. Yeah. So you've got
Okay.
all this stuff going on, and then our boss, OG Giancarlo Esposito, aka what's his name? Stan Edgar, decides that he is going to go ahead and at least replace Translucent in the 7. And he brings in a lovely.
No. They what's her name?
Ashley.
Oh,
Ashley tries to replace first.
Oh my gosh.
With hers. What was the gentleman's name?
Daredevil Light.
He's basically Daredevil. I forgot his name. It was something like God, it was a pun basically on like being blind.
Blind Spot.
Blind Spot,
name
yes.
was Blind Spot.
And he basically was Daredevil. He has super hearing and super accuracy. And Homelander being Homelander basically paralyzes him
Further.
by clapping his ears so hard that he bleeds.
Yeah. He should be dead, right?
There was a lot of blood on the floor. I think he's dead.
He clearly ruptured his eardrums.
Yeah.
So
At the bare
he's
minimum.
powerless now. Yeah.
And
And
then
then
goes off on Ashley.
Yeah, in a super ableist rant talking about why would I want a cripple on the team. It's like, oof.
It was not pretty.
He is not the worst person on the team now.
Your voice got so high.
Because like when they first introduced her, I was like, okay, there's a reason that Edgar likes this chick. I'm not sure why. We still haven't seen what her power is yet. We just know it's something obviously with the weather, right?
Yeah, she's basically Storm.
She's basically Storm. And the thing about it is like
with one huge difference.
Everything that she presents in episode 1 and 2 and the first half of episode 3 is like, yeah, fuck Voight, or fuck Vought, fuck how they're showing women, they're minimalizing us, they're making us one-dimensional, do what you want, say what you want, you should be free, like this hero shit is supposed to be fun and blah blah blah. And
Pippi Longstockings is a hero because she is.
Yeah, Pippi Longstockings is her
Pippi
hero.
Longstocking thing was weird.
Did you not watch Pippi Longstockings?
I remember watching it a little bit, but like no one
Fuck you, she's
for
amazing.
Pippi Longstockings that hard.
Sorry.
Okay, sit down, madam. Sit down.
I didn't dislike her, but she wouldn't.
Pippi is amazing. She lived by herself. She had all this gold. She lived a fucking horse. She was amazing. Don't fucking do that.
She was okay. I don't have any beef with her.
You're okay. She was amazing. But go along, tell your story.
So, it gets to the point where Starlight is like, yo, like I really dig this chick, like blah, blah, blah. And then you get to the end of episode 3 and find out she's a fucking raging racist. She is a complete psychopath. And most importantly, Homelander might have actually finally met his match.
Yeah. She is easily worse than he is in most ways. She doesn't have the mommy issues, but
she does not. Well, we don't know that about her.
She is a raging psychopath, racist. Ooh, yeah, it was tough to watch that last little bit. She just started electrocuting everyone in that apartment complex
and blowing up Black people just because she could.
I mean, was it tough, or have we seen it before?
Well, no. Also, we left out the big important thing of who she was chasing, which found out
She is from Portland.
she is from Portland. Yes, which if you are watching the news currently, it's kind of a hot spot.
Yeah, but go ahead, Eric, with what you were saying
Oh no,
about
I was saying they were chasing.
the
Well,
male.
they give her
Kimiko's
a
brother?
name. Yeah, Kamiko's brother. In the comics, she's referred to as the female.
Yeah,
Um,
she's the female. Her brother is the male, but his name is actually Kenji.
yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah, they find him, and he is the super terrorist, or as Homelander likes to force people to say, the super villain, because it tracks better with the focus groups.
I like
Also,
terrorists, but okay.
the Homelander is being super Homelandery, and it's like, we have to save America.
America.
Fuck the world, America first.
Yeah, it was like a Trump rally watching them talk about um how they should be focusing their energy on this whole hero villain or hero terrorist thing. I think that the one thing that I did find very interesting was the whole Homelander's whole obsession with super villain versus super terrorist. I thought that was kind of nifty because, in America today, we want to call everybody a terrorist except, you know, obviously the homegrown
Yeah,
terrorists that should be called terrorists that are always
we
just
don't call them
people.
domestic terrorists. We call
No,
them,
we don't have any domestic
mentally ill
terrorists.
people
Yep.
with guns.
Yep, exactly. But they're domestic terrorists. And so I found it very, very interesting that in this arena right now, in this space where terrorist is such a word, Homelander's like, no, no, no. Supervillain. Supervillain is the right word. I'm gonna keep saying supervillain. This shit
And
is gonna
correcting
catch on.
people to say
Mhm.
supervillain.
Hmm.
He's trying to make fetch happen.
He is
It's
trying to
not
make
gonna
fetch
happen.
happen. Woof. So yeah, so she is, and I think we come back to her in a little bit, but let's focus a little bit on Homelander because, well, he is literally fucking insane, and we saw it last season with obviously his relationship with Stillwell, and he kind of seemed a little bit like a bully. I know the episode where he let the folks on the plane die and Maeve had to struggle through that was a really tough one for some folks. Like, so we know he's a nut job. But I feel like in this season, we're really starting to get an even better idea of how absolutely insane he is and how unstable he is because like going to Butcher's wife and then being with the little boy Ryan and like really like this whole speech he gives the kid about how they're gods and they can do anything that they want and blah 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 and like not being able to read the room that the kid doesn't want shit to do with him
He came
like
in hot.
at all.
He came in a little too hot. And by a little, I mean
You,
volcanic.
you didn't like him throwing children off roofs?
I knew that was gonna happen. God, I knew that was
I'm
gonna
not gonna
happen.
lie, I bust out laughing because it's like you knew it was gonna happen,
You
but
knew
when
it.
it happened, and he's just like, "Blop!" It was funny. I mean, it shouldn't have been funny, but it was funny. And
Oh no,
and
it
at
was
first,
hilarious because he fucking pancaked on the ground.
he really did. And the thing about it was, like, for a second, you're like, "Oh shit, maybe the kid doesn't have powers."
No, but you remember, like when we first saw the kid, his eyes glowed, so we knew he had powers. They're just latent.
I
Mhm.
didn't remember seeing the kids. What up?
And
Oh.
the
At the
very
very
last,
end.
the very end of the first season, like one of the last
Oh.
shots.
Yeah.
I totally missed that because I'm like, oh, this kid, this kid's fucked. And then when he got up and this like little nice kid, he's like, get the fuck away from us! Oh shit! But it's like Homelander does not get it.
No. He's too hot. Had he come in and said, I just want to learn, I just want to meet and hang out with my kid, I'll observe until it's time for us to actually, like, I think he needs to learn about his father, then I feel like Becca, I mean, what can she say? He's a super. But had he come in, I'll do your lead, I'll do what I need to do to get in this kid's life, I feel like that'd have been fine. I mean, fine to a point. But the fact that he's like basically holding them hostage in their house, that's not okay.
Yeah, and the mom is trying to help by like telling him, "Oh, your loneliness is like a strength, and you'll be fine. We don't need people." Like you're lying to this kid.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that
that's
kid
not going
is
to turn well
fucked.
either.
Like the whole fact that they've created a whole little tiny town for them that is secure and she cannot leave is fucking insane.
Yeah.
Ugh.
They're breeding another one.
Yeah.
Yeah, but Homelander, like his interaction with Maeve, and Maeve literally having to hide Elena from him because he's like, "Yeah, I'm just gonna kill anybody that you care about that's not me." It's like,
I do not look forward to watching Homelander murder her girlfriend later this season.
No.
you think it's gonna happen?
I feel like that's coming.
Yes. Yes. I don't know if I believe him when she said she's just a friend. I think
No.
he put that in his back pocket for later.
Yeah, he's like, oh, if she wouldn't have mentioned everything else going on, he would have probably dug deeper
Yeah.
Mhm.
right then and there.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I mean, and Jose brought up a really good point that like this whole gods thing is really reminiscent of how like philosophers and stuff say that like DC as a comic book company treats their supers as gods while Marvels are more like human beings. So the more we're seeing more superheroes and the more that it's coming out, like they definitely are taking that DC route. And to me, it's one of those situations where it's like Homelander, literally, his ideals are a super problem if they are gods, because they pretty much are, and they are also fucked up and they are man-made. Like
Yeah.
there are just so many different things, because even how, here's Starlight and Huey had been fighting so much to expose Vought, and they finally do it. It's all over CNN that soups are made.
Do you think she did that?
Yeah. You don't think it was her?
I don't.
Who do you think did it?
I don't know, but I don't think it was her.
Yeah, because she would have made a bigger deal about it.
Yeah. I don't think it was her.
Huh.
I have a feeling it was A-Train. Like when she explained why she had it and he kind of like had nothing to say.
Yeah.
I have a feeling he put it out there.
But why? Why would he do it?
I don't know.
I
We
mean,
all
if they're
know
man-made, if they're man-made and he's having problems, like the heart problems that he's having, maybe he's tired of it and maybe he's tired of them. So it's a fuck you to them.
Yeah.
I need some of that to be true, because I can't stand A-Train. And
There's nothing
but
redeeming about him, because
no.
not even being the black guy on the team does it for me,
No.
dude. Like I fucking hate
He
you.
woke up like in the second episode from his coma that he was in after having a heart attack, and now he's going through issues because using his super speed is hurting his heart more. It's either his super speed is hurting his heart or he's going through some type of PTSD.
See, I don't think it's that. I think it's the abuse of, because remember that he was taking.
Well, yeah, he was
taking the Compound V as like a drug to get high.
Well, and like a steroid.
Right,
Yeah.
like as a steroid. So I think that it's the damage from taking too much of it. Like you're supposed to get the normal amount as a kid.
Yeah, they get it as
then,
babies, and then their powers manifest later.
Right, and then that's it. And he was taking it like a straight up steroid.
Well, because he was
drug as
losing
an
some of
adult.
his powers.
No, it wasn't.
Yeah.
It wasn't that he was
No,
losing them. He wanted more.
Yeah, he was being pressured because remember there was the other super speed guy that wanted to take his spot on the 7, and they were supposed to do the race, and then he got injured, and then he just started taking it even more.
Right, because he was just basically trying to be faster than the other fast guy. So I'm thinking that it's side effects. But then here's the thing: to your point, maybe it was him, because him kind of when Edgar comes in, when Stan Edgar comes into the 99th floor to talk to the superheroes, and he like,
knew it
I
was
got
Starlight.
something to say.
Yeah, he could have thrown her under the bus,
but he chose not to. So he knew Starlight had it.
Mm-hmm.
But it had to be Starlight because he didn't have it. So going to CNN and saying, hey, this is here, wouldn't have been enough. You would have had to have had the Compound V.
Okay, when Starlight got it out of Shockstorm, what is her name?
Stormfront's
bag. Did she open it in her room, or did she just have it in her room?
No, she opened it in her room.
She opened it in her room, but he was there before she even opened it. He took the thing and opened it for her.
Yeah, he opened her little baggie and it was there.
I just feel like we would have seen that.
No, we did see that.
No. I feel like we would have seen her dropping it off or something.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. Like we don't even know who. And then in the third episode, Huey is trying to contact her to thank her
Right.
for disclosing it, but she acts like she doesn't know what's going on.
Right. I just feel like she didn't.
Not to mention, can we talk about Gecko for a minute? The former
Oh,
Christian superhero with regenerative powers and pain suppression who is now letting people pay to chop off his limbs.
What would you like to say about that scene?
That was great. I was not expecting that. Like, as soon as he pulled out the knife, I was like, oh. And I was expecting him to scream, but I was like, oh, I guess he has pain suppression as well.
Yeah.
And then after he chops off his arm, he's like, hey, for an extra 1,000, I'll let you chop off my dick. And he's like, oh, well,
ATM?
where's the closest ATM? He's like, you know what? Good for you. Make your money. Don't disparage sex workers. If that's your
there.
game and you're good for it and no one's getting hurt, technically, I mean, he can't be hurt, but go for it.
Yikes.
I did not
Yeah.
like the fact that they were basically using him as a lab rat,
Me
like
either.
testing shampoos on him and stuff that are supposed to burn out eyes.
Yeah.
But
That's not
that's the
fun.
superhero world.
Yeah, because that's the other thing. You guys are injecting all of these kids all over the world, or at least all over the states, and all of them don't end up with cool powers.
No, some of them end up with really just dumb powers, and they have to make ends meet. So if that's letting dudes pay you to chop off an arm or a leg, or
The
you know,
dick.
chop off your dick, if that's what you're into, make your money.
I wonder with him though, can he grow his head back, or is that the one thing that he can't get chopped off?
That's interesting to think about because it's not unlike Deadpool. Deadpool could grow everything back, and it wasn't until after he fucked with Thanos that Thanos cursed him with immortality that he could grow his head back and could grow back from like single cells.
Huh. All right. Well, moving right along. So there is just a whole bunch of shit going on. We know that the terrorists were created. Well, I mean, we knew that from
Super villains.
before.
Don't do that. We
No,
call
we
them
know
terrorists
that the
here.
super terrorists were all due to Homelander, basically.
Mhm.
But I kind of question that because we know that Homelander had been last season making sure that the Compound V got around the world. But that Vought had to be doing something before because, like, if Kimiko and her brother Kenji were injected as children and they were grown ass adults last season, and like, where Vought had to have been doing something else that Homelander doesn't realize. Like, I don't
Well,
think that they
they
were
they
only
were
testing.
separated as kids. Like he is younger than her, but she mentions that he mentions that after they found that the powers worked on her, they figured they would work on him as well. So they injected him after she escaped, or after what's the name freed her.
Yeah. So they're kids. I mean, but they had the powers. They got them when they were younger. They didn't just get the powers. Or did I miss that?
They're not the same. Yeah, they were injected later. It's not like with the Compound V people where they inject. They mentioned they were doing them through what in vitro fertilization.
Yeah, they did it
Mm.
there, and then apparently they did like follow-ups and did them as like booster shots or immunization
Yeah,
shots.
vaccinations. Yeah,
Hmm.
yeah, because we saw the results of the babies that came out with powers, like the one with the laser eyes. It's probably one of
Mhm.
my favorite parts of season 1.
Oh, so good. But also, how fucked up are those parents? Like, y'all ain't shit. Y'all
What do you
They
ain't
they
mean?
shit.
they got a payoff.
Right.
They even mentioned that they paid off the parents.
No, that's my point. How you just gonna sell your baby? But wait a second though, I got 5 of them. How much money could I have made?
I was getting ready to say half of them you don't even like, so one or two of them was going to get some of that Compound V. What? You
Yeah.
can make me
What
like
if-
my baby a little bit more? Fantastic.
They dropped you 5 million and was like, well, you don't even know this kid, so
Eh,
he's new.
maybe.
Here's 5 million. Make another one.
Kids, I'm joking. I love all of you. But anyway,
You know she's not.
Maeve's dad, Queen Maeve's dad, let's talk about him, or at least her bringing him up. Like, it wasn't sunshine and roses for all of these kids either growing up, because they could see like the fucked upness in their parents with the way that they acted about money anyway.
Yeah, and even people like Starlight, she mentions that her mom made her do like the superhero pageants, where they doll them up like child pageants. It's got to be even worse for superheroes.
And the Christian tours.
That too.
Oh,
She's from Iowa, so Mm.
Yeah, all of that was messy. And then so you've got all this stuff going on within the seven, because the world knows about Compound V. They need to track down this terrorist. They're not happy, or at least, well, Homelander's not happy that we've got this new chick on the squad. And then you've got the boys over here doing their own thing, basically trying to hide out, waiting for Butcher to show his ass, because we didn't even see him until what, the end of the first episode? Or
Yeah.
was it
Yeah.
this, or the end of the first episode or the beginning of the second episode? It's all blurring together for me like one just continuous episode. But we don't even see him to start, so they're trying to figure out their own situation.
Yeah, he shows up after Huey uses his contact from the CIA,
And
Rayner,
and gets Deputy
and
Director Rayner.
she gets her head blown up.
Okay.
Very gory.
Can we talk about that though? Because I was very sad because I actually liked her character. Who the
Yeah.
fuck killed her? Right? Because literally, and I think Mother's Milk said it. Mother's Milk was, or no, I'm sorry. It wasn't Mother's Milk that said it. It was Butcher that said it after the fact, that clearly she was starting to put some shit together based on intel she had that she had no business knowing, and somebody didn't want her to know. That wasn't Vought. So why did somebody in the government kill her? Because I don't believe that Vought blew her head up.
Didn't she say something about a coup?
Yeah, I have a feeling maybe she might have had something like already in her head, so that when she got too close and the thing started coming together, her nose started bleeding, and then boom, so it was like a bomb from the inside.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, no, I definitely think there was a bomb implanted. I don't think somebody
Yeah, I don't think it was a
long range blew up
superhero.
her brain. No.
Yeah.
And that's what my issue is that I clearly think she had a bomb in her head. That Lord only knows how it got there or when it got there. So to me, it would seem like somebody from the government wanted her
Eric,
dead.
do they have okay, bear with me. Do they have something like an Ant-Man? Because you've read the comics. Do they have like an Ant-Man type person?
I think so. There's a lot of characters in the comic.
Hmm.
But like Ant-Man, you would see him when he expands. So like if he blew up her head from the inside, you would see him when he
Well, not blew up her head from the inside, but like planted something in her head, like flew in there and
Ah.
then flew back out.
Yeah, no, she just pop, and then boom goes the dynamite. The dynamite is her head.
Yeah, that was just a lot. But it just, even if it was a super that did it, I just don't feel like Vought was concerned enough about the CIA, because they had already pretty much gotten the negotiations signed to get that military shit that they were looking for, that military money. So I just don't feel like they would have had a reason at that point to off her. I feel like there's more going on the government side. Because even at the end of the third episode, when they were trying to get the mail delivered to the CIA operatives, I found it incredibly interesting that they thought they were quote unquote there, and no one was fucking there. Before they could do anything, or before the CIA could pick up, the package, basically, the seven showed up. Well, wait a second though. First off, how did the seven even know where to track them down? Because I missed that. I don't understand how they knew where to track them down to.
When they're on the boat.
Yeah, when they're on the boat, and more so once they get to that CIA supposedly safe house that they were going to drop him off. How did the seven know to go there? How?
Well,
Like
no,
there's a mole?
they would have gotten the notification from the NYPD that got their helicopter got shot down. But who called the NYPD on their yacht?
That's what I want.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I
and
don't know that I believe that CIA woman.
Yeah, I'm
I
thinking it's
don't.
her.
That's my whole point. I don't trust her, and I think she's working with Vought. I don't think there was ever anybody I don't think that there was ever going to be someone at that CIA safe house to take the package. I don't. I think she's working with the seven, or at least working with Vought in some way, shape, or form.
Yeah, I think she's working directly with
Edgar.
With what's his name? With Edgar. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because it just didn't add up. The timing of it. she literally was like, you just blew up an NYPD helicopter. First and foremost, it had just blown up. If someone on the boat didn't call it in, I mean, if you know anything about like helicopter communication, they would have had no idea that it was blown up. They would have just said, yeah, we had a boat, a helicopter go out to, respond to a stolen boat or whatever, and we lost communication. There's no way they knew that quick that it was blown up. But she's talking about, yeah, you've made it more difficult. You just blew up an NYPD helicopter. Like, we can't meet where we were supposed to meet. So clearly there was some type of surveillance already going down. She had somebody surveilling, right? That could have been satellites, could have been whatever, fine. But then she directs them to this safe house, and while that was going on, you've got Homelander giving the speech like, fuck Vought, we need to just get this terrorist because that's what we do, blah, 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 blah. And they immediately know where to fucking go. And the other question is, how the fuck did the Deep know where to go?
Yeah, there's that whole thing about the Church of the Collective. Like the Deep is going through his own little his own crisis, or like he's confronting his body images and why he treats women like that, like shit, because he has his own body image issues. And even Homelander like affirms it more, and he's like, put away your gills, they're fucking gross. And he gets bailed out of jail after sticking his dick in a water park amusement thing where there's children around. And yeah, Black Hawkeye saves him.
Yes, Eagle the Archer. Yes. Yeah, but all of that
he's clearly trying to recruit him into this Scientology type church.
Right. And that's the thing, because they're like, yeah, you're part of the 7. The church says go. We still haven't even seen this head of the church yet. I think the character is Alistair Adana, who we haven't seen yet. But like, you're giving him something, telling him to go do this thing to be part of the 7. Well, how the fuck do you know what's going on, church? And you send him exactly where he needs to be? A lot of shit is not adding up right now. And I don't think it's not adding up because there's bad writing. I think it's purposely not adding up because there are going to be some bombshells to drop later that we just haven't seen yet. I'll say, Manir, wait a second. There's a problem here right now. We have a big problem. I'm sitting here going on about conspiracy theories, and that's your job. What is going on? Because you are hella quiet right now, and you keep the tinfoil hat on.
Just not that invested.
All right, fair enough.
Like, I'm invested, but I'm not that invested. Like, it really rubbed me the wrong way with that 3 episodes, and then you wait until Friday. It did. I'm not gonna lie. It really did. That kind of fucked me up. So I'm invested, but I'm not like that invested. Listen, that white woman being a racist, that's nothing I've never seen before. You know what I mean? I'm more interested in the story that Giancarlo was giving Homelander, because I feel like that was a lot of information, and a lot of important information that he wasn't giving Homelander. He was giving us. So that's going to be very important. And I feel like the reason that he picked her is wrapped up in that explanation, but I don't know what it is. So
no, I think it makes perfect sense, because for her to basically be a Nazi, and we find out that the founder was a Nazi.
Yeah.
Is this a granddaughter? Is this another relative?
Right.
What's
is this
going
him?
on there? Right.
Yeah.
Right. Exactly. Yeah. Like we literally have no idea. And I like you as well, felt the same way, that it's like, he is not telling you this because you need to know it. He is telling you this because we need to know it. And why do we need to know it?
Right. Yeah. Also, I mean, as we were talking, the Homelander, in that conversation, Homelander, we don't know that not Homelander, but Giancarlo doesn't have powers or dampeners, because he never looks afraid of Homelander, like, at all. He looks like you're a petulant child, and I'm going to let you throw this tantrum, but at any time I know that if you get out of hand, I can slap you down.
Yes.
And how is
Yes.
that? Because no, like
Exactly.
even Madeline, like she had that, I'm a mother, I take care of you, but only that went so far and he lasered her eyes out. I expected Homelander to laser that man's eyes out because he had that look,
Mhm.
but it was like he was going to, but couldn't. I don't know. I don't know how to
Yeah,
explain it.
no, I get exactly what you're saying. And I'll even go one step further. He looks at all of them as like petulant children
Mhm.
who are our property.
Mhm.
Because like even when, Ashley gets the alert and we found out later that, the Compound V thing has gone public, he's like, don't worry about shit. You just go manage those fucking children
Right.
and I'll let you know what you need to know. The end.
Like
there
that's
was
not really, really important.
Right. We don't care about what they think. That's not
Right.
important right now. And
Yeah.
so for him to be just so, to your point, calm and just unbothered by what the supers can do,
Yeah.
I just don't feel like you have that if you're not a super.
No. And I feel like Huey's a super. I don't know why. I just feel like at some point something's going to push him over the edge and then his powers will work. I don't know why.
Well, either that or he might take Compound V as an adult.
Yeah, it's just in the back of my head every time that I see Huey, I'm like, you either have a power or you're going to try and get one. I don't know why.
Well, I mean, after everything that he's seen and done, why wouldn't you want to be able to literally fight back against a superpowered person?
Yeah.
Especially if you think you're doing the right thing.
Yeah.
Right.
Which means, oof. And that to me, like you think you're doing the right thing, like he might be our ultimate villain.
He's
Listen,
also getting a little like overly stalky with Stormfront. I mean, not Stormfront.
Starlight.
Starlight.
He's like,
Yeah,
"Ooh,
you're my starlight. You're my
Yeah.
second wind. Oh,
who's that guy that you were with at the Teen Choice Awards or whatever?"
Yeah, shut the fuck up, goofy white boy. Like, stop it. Like, really, just stop. She was always too hot for you, even if she wasn't a damn superhero. Calm it down, right?
That girl that got smashed was too hot for him.
She was.
She was.
She was very
was.
pretty. And I'm like, why are you with this baby Quaid who's not handsome? What are you doing?
He's not. He doesn't look like he's done cooking yet.
He looks like
he
undercooked
got
Randy
a weird
Quaid.
mixture from his parents of
Mhm.
Dennis Quaid and Meg Ryan.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he is. Yes, because he's got like Meg Ryan's eyes,
Yeah,
but then
but
this
he doesn't command like the
goofiness.
manliness that Dennis Quaid
No.
commands.
No.
He got a little bit of the Randy Quaid genes in there.
He does. He looks like undercooked Randy Quaid.
Well, hopefully, he's
Sorry.
not bonkers like Randy Quaid.
Sorry, guy.
Sorry, producer guy, but
He's
does.
great on Star Trek Lower Decks though.
Oh, is he?
Yeah,
He is as nerdy
he
as you want
plays
him to
the
be.
neurotic character
Yeah.
that he seems like he is.
Mhm.
Yeah, I'm not good with him. And also so far this season, all right, so full transparency. I fucking love Carl Urban. Love him. I think he's hot. I love him in everything that he does. He opens his mouth and I'm just like, please let me do naughty things to you. Love him. However, that said, I'm already fucking sick of Butcher this season.
I thought I was the only one.
No,
Yes.
he is fucking selfish and self-centered and literally does not give a fuck about anybody on his team.
No.
And him sitting there saying, well, I knew they would be okay, blah, 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 blah. Bitch, no, you didn't. And honestly, you didn't care because you are so focused on your trash ass wife and trying to get back to her. Because you know what? I don't feel sorry for her. Bitch, you spread your legs, okay? Homelander didn't rape you. We all know that now, right? Initially, we're like, oh my God, of course Homelander raped her because he's a terrible human, well, superhuman being. And then we find out, nah, she did that shit of her own fucking free will. So you went out there, you had sex with fucking terrible Superman, and then you get knocked up with his little mutant fucking baby. And now you're like, oh my God, I can't go back. I need to protect my child and blah, 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 blah. You made horrible fucking life choices and decisions. You need to live with them.
Yeah, I don't feel bad. I don't feel bad, Rebecca.
I don't feel bad for her at all. Now, Butcher, you didn't know this and you were nobly trying to find out what happened to your wife. I get it. But now that you know, oh my God, I have to save Becca. Fuck Becca.
Becca's right where she wants to be.
Right?
She was until like you guys found her. Like she's where she wants to be with that
Exactly.
baby.
Exactly. So everything that you are doing at this point is not because of what you sold us that you were doing it for, which I agreed with, that these supers are out of control. We need to really like get them back in line. This is not like you were pretty much broke Batman. And I was okay with that. I was okay with you being poor Batman trying to check these crazy ass superheroes. Heroes. I get it. But that's not who you are right now. Right now, you are a fucking petulant child who just wants to get back to your fucking Becca. What the fuck? So yeah, I'm very, very disappointed with Butcher so far in the season. Will he redeem himself? I hope so, because he's
Probably
still
not for
hot
me.
and I love him. But it doesn't, I'm not digging him right now. Like, I love Frenchie, but I've always loved Frenchie, and Frenchie is probably like the truest. Frenchie and Mother's Milk are probably the genuinely best human beings on this show.
Well, I mean, Mother's Milk can't put his family first, so
Frenchie kind of assisted in human trafficking, so
He didn't know
potato
he
tomato.
was. He didn't know he was
No.
assisting in
Right.
human trafficking, and I believe him when he said that.
I believed
I mean,
him when
he
he
was-
said it too.
He was also kind of an arms dealer.
Those arms are going to be dealt anyway.
Right?
So
I'm okay with that.
Well, now
wouldn't
you're
make that
making
money.
excuses. You're like,
What?
those drugs were going to
What?
get on the street either way.
What?
Somebody was going to do it. At least let it be the hot Frenchman.
Listen,
He is a hot Frenchman.
you got the money, so you shut it up.
There it is.
It needed to be sold. We sold it. We got the money. We've got a nice place to live for the time being. We're good.
safe.
Right,
We're
we're
safe
safe.
for now.
But he's good because he makes sure that Kumiko practices her letters.
He does.
And I like that. What are you
Right.
doing? What are
No,
you
I was-
doing?
I didn't realize we were all okay with this adorable human trafficker.
Yes,
We just found that out. We just found
And
that out.
also, he didn't know he was human trafficking. Eric,
Right.
All
He was
right.
looked
literally
genuinely
introduced in the
surprised.
first season as an arms dealer with guns and drugs and a C4 lit up warehouse.
Okay, but I didn't hear any humans.
No.
So
I was fine with that. Nothing that you
Those-
just said was a problem for me.
No.
Because those guns don't hurt humans.
Humans hurt humans. Okay.
We all know
Guns don't kill people. People kill people.
that.
Eric.
You know that.
Ugh,
There's a
God.
slogan for a reason. It must be true.
It must.
I mean, listen, you've got a whole closet in your house with guns locked up. You're kind of an arms dealer yourself. You've dealt them to yourself. Are you a bad person? I think not.
I don't. That's not my shit.
I'm just saying, don't fucking come for Frenchie, all right? Let that be the last time.
No, he's
do
lovely.
that.
Don't do that.
And in fairness,
No.
but Eric did bring up a good point. Really, Mother's Milk has it the worst in all of this because he didn't want to get drug into it in the first place.
Did
He
not.
can't really do anything to get back to his family because he's in the
No.
situation that he's in,
He is.
and yet and still he's still trying to like take care of everybody and keep everybody together.
Well, he's basically patching up gangsters coming in with gunshots
Ooh, that
Listen, if
guy's
you're gonna live
armed
here,
though.
you're gonna
or
live
hit by
here.
boats.
If you're gonna live here, you're gonna pull your weight.
You got to pull your weight. You can't just be staying here, not
You can't be
oh, there-
Huey.
right. You
Huey
can't be
apparently had nothing. He was just
Right.
the takeout bitch. Go
Right.
You can't
go
be
get me
Huey.
some aloe.
Yeah, you sitting here just like building fucking toy houses for your daughter. That's not going to get the bills paid, sir.
It's not.
You got to
Well,
do something.
he's doing that when he's not fixing up gangster wounds.
Poor Mother's Milk.
Everyone
his-
deserves a little
That's his
downtime.
zen. Yeah.
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 Listen, poor everybody except fucking Billy Butcher right now because he's being
fair.
he is being a twat. That is
Also,
what he's being.
I don't think he's gonna get to finish that dollhouse.
You
They
think
left
they're
it in the
gonna
other
kill
safe
him?
house. No, they left it in the
Oh,
other safe
that's
house.
No, I
right.
don't think they're coming back.
Yeah, they're not coming back to the safe house
I
with
was
the
like,
Haitians.
no, don't kill Mother's Milk. And like, no, wait, you're right. They're not going back to that safe house. There is no safe house for them right now. Like they are so
Mm.
unsafe. It's not even funny.
Mm-mm.
Ugh. All right. Well, I think at this point, did we not talk about anything that you guys wanted to hit on in these first 3 episodes? Because I feel like we've unpacked a lot.
No, I mean Stormfront's racism was expected. It's so ingrained in her character that Stormfront is actually the name of a neo-Nazi forum from the early days of the internet.
seriously.
Yep. So when they wrote the character for the comic, they kind of went off of that. The weather powers just happened to come from it.
Wow. I will say the one thing I'll say, and then we can kind of wrap up. It did surprise me because when she came in, she was also girls power and stop, I'm a feminist and this, that, and the third
Well,
and
no,
blah, blah, blah.
she wasn't even on feminism. She was on that white women feminism where they're like, oh well, I have everything handed to me, so real feminism doesn't count for me because
Yeah.
I'm white.
Yeah.
Like, oh, just pull yourself up by your bootstraps type feminism.
Yeah. Yeah. She was, but and Starlight was like all drinking the Kool-Aid. And I'm like, oh, well, maybe we will have someone on this team that's actually not garbage.
Nope.
And
Then she starts
she
killing
was
black people
fucking
and
garbage.
dropping racist slurs for Asian people.
Ugh.
And she will get worse. If you've ever read the comic, in the comic she's a man, but I feel like they made her a woman for the show because what's the name? Homelander is clearly intimidated by strong women. So if you have this character who is stronger and more outspoken and is a woman, he'll back down. But also, in the comics, she is a man and she is very racist and anti-Semitic. So look forward to seeing all that in the coming episodes.
Oof. I can't
Yay. More racism.
wait.
I do love the fact that they cast Aya Cash. Like if you've ever watched You're the Worst on FX, she's great in that show.
Isn't she Jewish in real life?
I think so.
Yeah.
But she's great. And I think she's really perfectly cast in the role.
Yeah, but I think that's been one of the strengths of this show all the way around. I feel like every single character that they have cast very well. Like even because we didn't get too deep into it, but even casting Jessica Heck to play Carol, like the weird church lady that that
cult leader.
Yeah. I'm not his therapist, I'm his friend. Yeah, like
they did that
she's
cult
perfect
thing
for
where they're
it.
like, oh no, therapy is bad, therapy's terrible.
Right.
But yeah.
And
Yeah,
they have
like-
one drink that everybody has to drink. Like if I hear Fresco one more time.
That was
When
so
he first
fucking
handed him a
creepy.
Fresca in jail, I was like, oh, a Fresca after getting out of prison would be quite refreshing. I would take a Fresca. I was like, that's delicious. And then like
in that
every
cult.
yeah, and then every couple of minutes, it's like, hey man, have a Fresca. And I was like, if one more person offers me a fucking Fresca,
No, but it was refreshing, remember?
yeah. And then it gets culty. Like, can't I have a Fanta? No.
No.
Fresca. Only Fresca.
Well, listen, I am actually pretty excited.
I'm amazed we haven't seen Simon Pegg yet as Huey's dad.
Yeah, because he didn't die, right?
No. He
Yeah.
didn't die.
He's just on the lam.
But you do know who's coming in this season that I'm very excited to see. Sean Ashmore.
Oh yeah, he's playing Lamplighter.
He's playing Lamplighter, and I actually love him. So I'm very curious, especially considering that Lamplighter apparently was very fucking terrible.
He's like a pyrokinetic, but he's like a mixture between the Human Torch and Green Lantern.
Oh, yeah.
And he
so
also
I'm very
apparently
excited.
killed the CIA lady's family.
Yeah, he fried her grandbabies, to be exact, in a car. So I'm very excited because he always plays like a good guy. So seeing him in this role, which is probably going to be hella dark, I'm pretty excited to see.
I always feel like they fucked him over in the X-Men movie because I liked him as Iceman.
He was
but
great
they
as
gave him
Iceman.
like 12 minutes of screen time.
Yep. They totally fucked him over. So hopefully he'll be with us. Although since he's technically not in the 7 anymore, I doubt he'll be with us super long.
Maybe he'll be in the cult.
Maybe if they like, I can give you a little spoiler. In the comics, he is dead, but he gets cloned. So maybe he comes back in the new season via
Is
cloning.
his brother cast? Because he's a twin, right?
I don't know. I haven't heard anything about that casting unless they get him to play both characters.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I was about to say, somebody confirmed that. Apparently he does have a brother. But I don't see. Oh no, he does have a twin brother.
Yeah,
You're right.
he's got a twin.
Oh shit.
I know because of Animorphs.
Animorphs.
Animorphs, yeah.
Huh. I never knew that. Never knew he
Yeah.
had a twin. So maybe they will fuck around and do some twinsy shit with the cloning and not
It's
cloning.
slight. It's very like if you look at him, the twin is kind of
They
not
don't look
dirty,
they
but
don't look the same. I mean, I know
No.
they're supposedly identical twins, but I just looked at two different
They
pictures
do
of
that
them.
thing where like one grows a beard and the other doesn't. Because I know he normally
Yeah.
has a beard these days.
just a little bit. Yeah.
Yeah, they do that, but the other brother too, his eyes seem to be just a smidgen closer together.
Mhm.
Like not in a like he looks like a weird version, but it's
Mhm.
just you can tell there's that slight difference.
Like he's literally a clone of him.
Yeah, maybe.
I mean,
All right. Well, we will see. I am super excited about that. And unlike Manira, I am very excited about the way that they're doing this season so far. I think it's going to give us a lot to think about week to week. Won't necessarily be talking about it on here every week to week. We probably just do a wrap up episode once all 8 episodes air. But we will definitely come back and hopefully we will be able to see if any of our conspiracies held up, if we were even remotely close or if we were way the hell off.
did we
And
do
if they'll get
anything?
into more Black Noir.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Because he
I
gets
might,
little scenes and they're powerful, but
I
might
like
need
that
you,
they're sprinkling him in.
Mhm.
I might need you to just go ahead and spoil that for me
No.
off air, not
I don't
on.
no, I don't think you want him off air either.
I do. I
No,
want to
you
It's
know.
a big
don't.
spoil.
Right, don't. No, you don't.
Because
Listen,
they
you're
show when he finds out about Compound V, which I think he already knew about. They show him. I can't tell if he's laughing or if he's crying.
He's not.
In his
He's
suit.
sobbing because
Yeah.
the caption says sobbing.
Okay.
Yeah. No, Maria, I wouldn't.
you're the queen of spoilers.
And then I spoiled myself. Like I fell on the spoiler and then I just went down the hole and I was like, oh, okay. All right. And now I can't say anything.
I know what he really is, but
yeah, I'm
not
know.
sure. I don't know, but I do know why he would be sobbing in that case.
I don't feel like you should tell her. I mean, you can find out if you want to, but I don't think you should.
Don't tell me how to live my life. Now
Then tell
we'll
her.
find
Yeah,
out.
tell
I
her.
have all
Now
the
tell her.
books if you
Nope.
want to read them.
Nope. As soon as we hit record off, I just want you to spill it right in front of her. Just
Nope.
tell her now.
Fuck you. All right.
Why? I'm telling you for your own good. As someone who spoiled themselves and loves a spoiler, I'm a little upset that I spoiled myself.
Did you spoil
you
yourself about Black
serious?
Noir?
Yes.
Ah, okay.
Yes.
Really?
hmm
Oh, it must be a good one if you're
It
upset
is.
that
It's
you
really
spoiled
good. It
yourself.
is.
It is. It's
And
really
if
good.
done right on the show, it would be very surprising.
Yeah. Don't do it.
All right, maybe I'll hold off.
I
Or
think you
maybe I
should.
won't. I'll figure it out. You don't have to tell me what the fuck to do. All right, but I'm gonna
Just
tell
like
y'all
Manera doesn't want to be told how to watch her TV, Maria doesn't
Right.
want to be told how to be spoiled.
exactly. Because
Okay.
I
You're
know
not a
that I
real
don't-
dad.
Right, you're not my dad.
Okay.
And
But-
in fairness, I very rarely spoil myself. So I'm
Don't
one
do
that I
it.
normally
Don't do
like,
this
just
one.
wait for the surprise.
Yeah,
So don't
don't
let this
do
be
this
the one.
Yeah.
Alright.
Don't do this.
I'll
one.
take that under advisement. All right.
You're gonna spoil yourself. Like I know you are, and then you're gonna be like, you are.
No, I might not. I might not spoil myself
think
because
you
if
should.
it's that good, maybe
good.
it's worth getting the surprise.
It's juicy. Spoil yourself on Stormfront.
Well, I mean, what is there to spoil? She's a racist piece of shit who wants to murder everybody. There's more?
There's a little bit more.
Oh, okay. Maybe I'll spoil myself on Stormfront then. Because that last episode for me was literally like, no, I had such high hopes for her.
I didn't. White women.
They're all fucking terrible.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. All right, guys. Well, I think we're going to wrap up our.
I would like to see them like explore more of her white women privilege. Like
Yeah.
outside of just plain old racism.
Ooh.
I'd like to see some more of that.
Because she was hitting it. She was hitting
Yeah.
it. Like now, knowing what I know now and going back and thinking that she was just like being brave and speaking up. Nah,
Nope.
she was being a fucking Karen
Mhm.
through
Yep.
the entire first 2 episodes. Or
She
first
is a
3
super
episodes.
Karen.
I'm
Mhm.
excited to see how that will affect Maeve and Starlight, and if they will have to get together with Homelander, or if it'll just be a Maeve and Starlight situation.
I'll say, much like actual Karens, her racism is hidden a little bit, but then it comes to the surface real
Mhm.
fast.
Mhm.
Yeah, it can't help itself.
Yep.
Yeah.
Got to
and
make sure that you know that she's better than you.
Yeah,
I'm starting to feel a little differently about Maeve. I keep saying we're done and then we keep going, but this will be the last point, I promise. I'm feeling a little differently about Maeve. I didn't particularly like her last season. I thought that she was just as trash as the rest of them. I'm starting to think maybe she isn't as much trash as the rest of them.
I give her the benefit of the doubt, being
She's
that
lower on the trash
yeah.
spectrum.
Yeah, I'm definitely starting to feel that. Like, she's not Starlight just yet. Because, in fairness, Starlight's a stupid, naive girl that doesn't have a backbone. She's not necessarily trash. Like, she still very much believes in the ideals of like wanting to save people and do the right thing.
Maybe Maeve would have been that way had we met her early. Do you know what I mean?
I bet you Maeve was that way.
Way, yeah.
But, or maybe not though, because if you come up with like fucking Tanya Harding type parents, which it sounds like she did.
Not to mention she's got a bit of like Stockholm syndrome with Homelander, knowing that, you know, at any point he can ruin her personal life. So that's why she keeps everything so hidden.
Mm-hmm.
The less he knows about her personal life, the more she can keep those people safe, because he is legitimately a psychopath.
Which, how did they miss it? How did this big ass corporation with all this money miss the fact they created
they
a
miss it?
psychopath?
I don't think they missed it.
They didn't miss it. He's a test tube
Right.
baby. They made him to be that.
Ugh,
Not
he's
to
the
mention
worst.
she also mentions that she is like one of the oldest members of the Seven with him. So she's
Yeah.
known him the longest.
Which is why he clings to her so tightly.
Mm-hmm.
Oof.
So creepily.
tightly.
He treats her like a big sister that he has to protect.
He's so creepy. Like, he's just, oh my gosh, he's so
He's
creepy.
amazing in the role. I love him.
Yeah.
Like, he is perfectly cast.
Yeah. What else has he done?
A lot of TV shows. If you ever watched Banshee on Cinemax, he's really good in that.
Okay.
Yeah, not a ton of movies. He's been in a couple movies, but mostly TV shows.
His facial expressions are spot on.
He
they
is-
turn at a dime, and they're
And
fantastic.
his
so
eyes being
perfect.
so blue, he looks like what an evil Superman would be.
Yeah.
And I mean, the suit is doing a lot of that. He's not really that muscular. The suit is very padded, but like it looks great on him.
Mhm.
He reminds me of Greg Kinnear in Mystery Men.
Yes. Yep.
Mhm.
Yeah, that's a really good example. All right. Well, guys, we promise we will come back probably mid-October once the season wraps to do part 2 of our boys breakdown. With that, I think, Manira, you actually got a grab bag this week. Yay! We gonna get into that? Eric, that's not the music. Please tell me that's not the music. That was bad even for her.
What?
That was terrible.
Nimbus has written us. We thought we lost you. We didn't.
Hey, Nimbus.
They're back.
Yay.
They say, greetings, my friends. It has been some time. It has. It is I, Nimbus, and I wish to speak to you all.
Ooh.
First of all,
Quarantine's hit us all differently. Everybody
well,
needs their
it's okay.
You know.
First, they are sorry for their silence. I was and still am emotionally unavailable at the moment. Ha ha. I don't. I think that was sarcastic.
Oh.
Anyways, I don't think that haha was like haha, it's funny. Yeah, I think it was haha, we're not doing okay. Anyways, I wanted to talk about something that's helped me during the pandemic, and that is using enablers and ROMs on my laptop.
Nice.
Okay. Lately gaming companies, Nintendo, have been.
Sorry, I don't want to interrupt you. Just for the people who don't know what a ROM is, emulators and ROMs are basically getting a digital version of a classic system and putting them on a computer. So your computer, if you have like a controller or something, you can play classic video games without having to dig out your old NES or Super Nintendo. So if you want to play games that you never played or games that are no longer available or
Excite
games from
Bike.
another country. Like a lot of people will get ROMs of Japanese games translated into English, usually poorly, to play them because they were never released in America. Sorry, go ahead. I just wanted to make sure.
I appreciate that because I didn't know and I was just going to look it up later. So thank you for that. No,
But also Excite Bike.
You put a wrinkle in my brain. Now, what are you screaming, Maria?
Excite Bike.
Apparently, Excite Bike.
I
She
love
wants
it.
to play the NES classic Excite Bike.
Oh no, I'm already playing it. But still, Excite Bike. Go ahead.
Oh, I think that is available on the Switch, though. That's probably where you're playing.
Yeah,
it.
I'm playing
Is
it
it?
on the Switch. Yeah.
Okay. You want to say
Sorry,
it one more time?
Excite Bike. All right,
Okay.
that's it. I won't say it again.
And having them available to be purchased and played on the newer systems. These remasters aren't always good, and in all honesty, I'm not paying $60 for a game that's been out before I was even born.
big facts.
Mm.
Nintendo especially is very keen on charging you top dollar for a game that came out 20 years ago.
Okay, but wait, really quickly, because I'm just doing the Nintendo, the little $4 network, and it gave
Mhm.
me access to like a fuck ton of classic games.
Yeah, you'll get a lot of classics, but like say you want something that came out on GameCube in 2001. They'll remaster it and put it out on their Nintendo store,
for
but they'll charge
$60. Yeah, I'm not
40 to
doing that.
$60 for a game that came out 20 years ago.
Yeah, not doing that. Okay,
Yeah.
sorry, continue.
No, you're fine. With enablers, you can play old games from older systems for free on your laptop. My friends know me.
Sorry, are you saying enablers?
Or
I meant
emulators.
Emulators, yeah.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry. No, you're fine.
Okay.
I don't know what I'm thinking about enablers.
Because you're enabled to play these old games. So I can see the connection. But yeah, emulators.
Anyways, my friends know me for playing Yoshi's Island and 100%ing it over and over again when I'm bored.
It's a classic.
Same. Everything can be found online, but things have been strained with the community because Nintendo continues to nuke a site.
Yep.
And take the emulators to use for themselves. And then there's a sad emoji. Aw.
Yeah, basically they're taking people's hard work because the game, it takes a lot of work to get it off of the cartridge or whatever, put it on your PC, emulate it so that it's usable with an emulator, create a ROM. So there were a lot of large community sites where people would upload emulators of classic games. And companies like Nintendo and Sony and Microsoft will fucking get these sites shut down constantly. So if you have emulators and ROMs, you have to do some digging to find them. Whereas they want you to not have to do that, or they don't want you to do that, which is why they'll say, oh, well, why go and risk viruses? Why go and download shady ROMs? Here you are. Pay us $10 and you can have this game that you wanted to play already. We'll do all the guesswork.
When really they're just stealing it from somebody else.
Yeah, stealing the hard work, and basically taking the work out of somebody else's hands.
Okay. Right, because they're stealing it, but they're also not, right? Because
it was their game to begin with. They own the license for these games, but a lot of these games are from companies that no longer exist.
Yep.
Okay. Also, if anyone wants to give me shit for complaining about Nintendo's shitty pricing of their games, look up Fire Emblem Path of Radiance, GameCube, and then they put a link.
Oh, guess how much it's going for right now?
How much?
Over $400.
What?
For a single GameCube game.
Why? Well, because all the reasons that you just,
Yeah, I would say these games no longer exist. A lot of them were never released in America. If you're lucky, you can find a shop that will, this is Amazon price. So Amazon is going to, if you're buying it from a third party on Amazon, they can make up their own price.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, if you're lucky enough, you're not going to find these at GameStop. If you're local in Virginia, there's a really good record store called Records and Rarities in Springfield Mall. They sell a lot of classic games, and they put on Instagram weekly, when they buy and sell used games. So if you're looking for old GameCube games or N64 games, they update them a lot, and their prices are a lot cheaper. They're not, they're not $400, but they're also not what you would pay for the game originally. They have to make a profit, but they have a lot of classic systems. I almost bought a Nintendo, a Game Boy Advance SP, which is the little clamshell one. I love that. That thing was a fucking brick, and you would have to work real hard to kill that thing. But it was also one of the few game systems that you could easily fit in your pocket and not know it's there.
Yeah.
So I love the Game Boy Advance SP. So if you're a local person, check them out because they usually do have really good deals. And I know places like Third Eye Comics are starting to get more into the video game side of things, so they might be carrying used games soon as well. But it sucks when you're a fan of classic games, or if, much like Nimbus says, the games came out before they were born. Yeah. It's really hard to find them and play them without having to pay a premium to Nintendo.
Yeah.
All right, so that was it. So thank you for coming back. We miss you. We hope you've caught up. If not, catch up.
Yeah, you've missed a lot. There's so much for you to listen to. All right, guys. Well, as always, we want to thank you for listening. If you like this episode, please rate us, drop a review, subscribe to the podcast if you're listening to the audio version. If you're watching this on YouTube, please subscribe to our channel. Tell your friends, do all that good stuff. You can follow us on Twitter or Instagram for updates on our episode drops and little tidbits throughout the week. Our handle on both is @ConcentratedPod. And next week we will actually be doing our review of Disney's new release of Mulan. So we oh my gosh.
Sorry.
I know she's very excited. Actually, we're all really excited to be talking about this movie. So we would love to hear your thoughts. Leave comments. If you're on the YouTube page, you can leave comments on the page. We'll definitely include them. Otherwise, you can reach out to us through all of our social media, or you can also just send us an email to concentratedpodcast@gmail.com. Leave a message on our Facebook page, which is Concentrated Podcast. And lastly, you can leave us a voicemail. You can actually reach us at area code 301-531-4393 to give us your thoughts or give us any ideas that you have for future episodes. So, guys, that is it for this week. Talk to you guys soon.
Did you want to tell that the next Lovecraft Country episode will
Oh
be
my
on
gosh.
us?
Yes. I didn't almost forget. I did forget. If you've been following our bonus content that we're doing with the From the Canopy podcast, which is our standalone show doing episode recaps of Lovecraft Country. We will be hosting this week's episode on our podcast. And I think we may actually even be hosting the video on our YouTube channel this week. So if you're watching Lovecraft Country, definitely check it out. It is called.
If you're already subscribed to our podcast, you'll just get it as an extra
Yeah,
episode.
you'll just get it as a bonus episode. And the same thing with the channel. We're loving the show. We're really enjoying talking about it. So we'd love to get you involved in the conversation. So just reach out and let us know.
Yeah.
All right. Anything else before we wrap?
Nope, that was it.
All right.
Nothing.
Bye, guys. We'll see you next week. Take
Bye.
care.
Peace.